Hello, class. Very glad to be back after my week in the wilderness. I thought before we get started singing and recording, I'd just like to listen to a nice arrangement with you all. I may have found the sheet music for this, and may be recording it.
The summer's gone and all the roses fall.
Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Lunar was here.
It's you must go.
We'll be getting started shortly. But I just wanted to listen to this with everyone.
But come you back when summer's in the May.
This was sung by the Suntones in 1961. And then again later, 50 years later, with 3 of the 4 original members. And it was just as good then.
It's I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow.
Such a wonderful, delicate tone.
Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you.
Why don't I make the sheet music match? There we go. Hey, good to see you, Nanase. Nanase. I will be singing this later, but I just wanted to share it all with you first.
If I am
Hi, Lapis. Good to see you.
as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say
This is a tenor melody barbershop arrangement, which I really love, but it crosses so much that it's visually hard to read.
I shall hear
Oh, that tone.
tread above me, and on my grave will warm, sweeter be. For you will bend and tell me that you love me only.
Barbershop chords are just,
Peace until you come to me. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
ooh, oh, goosebumps. Absolutely perfect. But thank you, class, for coming today. I am, having spent the past week plus in the woods, I thought it might be a good time to record some folk tunes. I have a lot of arrangements that I can go through that I very much enjoy. They're not that difficult, which is good because I've obviously not been singing very much while out on the trail. And thought, what better opportunity? But why don't we leave this stuffy stage behind and enjoy some nice scenery? Now, this is not my own photo, class, unfortunately. This is in Snowdonia in Wales. Somewhere I've been to Wales. I've not been to Snowdonia. Would very much love to go someday because, just look at that. But I thought, what better environment to sing some folk tunes? and a nice, pastoral scene. So, now that I have rejoined civilization, it will be my pleasure to sing some folk tunes for you. I'm going to take some liberties with the arrangements because sometimes the melodies don't go quite the way I know them or are otherwise different, or I might be adapting an SATB, soprano, alto, tenor, bass arrangement to suit tenor, tenor, bass, bass. We'll see. But I've got a whole bunch for you. I figure as I go between parts here and there, I may, give some stories from the past week and a half, or week. Haven't streamed in a week and a half almost, but spent a week on the Appalachian Trail, doing about 140 miles of hiking over 7 days. It was quite the adventure, and if you have any questions about that class, do just let me know. I'd be happy to talk about it. I don't have any of my photos yet. I still will need to go through and edit those and see, what's suitable for sharing, but should be good. Though naturally, I've come back into civilization, and there is now a hurricane threatening to make landfall tomorrow, so we will see about a schedule for the coming week. That could be an issue, but we shall see. All right, so I think I'll start with a favorite folk tune of mine, Laurie. So, as I do for most of my barbershop streams, I'm going to first sing the melody, then the bass, and then fill in the other parts. So the melody is I Know Laurie goes something like Maxwellton's braes are bonny, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Laurie gave me her promise true. Gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Laurie I'd lay me down and dee. Now, this arrangement's not quite the same, so I'm going to probably choose somewhere in the middle there with the notes and rhythm, just so that I'll be consistent between all 4 parts. Also got a fair bit of Scots in there, like lay me doon and dee, lay down and die. I am not Scottish, but I will do my best to not embarrass everybody who is with my very poor Scots pronunciation. So why don't I go ahead, get my recording software ready, and give it a go. Maxwellton's braes are bonny, where early falls the dew. Actually, I'm gonna start that over. Gonna do it much more close to the sheet music, just because I know if I don't, I'm going to mess it up in the other parts. Maxwellton's braes are bonny, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Laurie gave me her promise true. Gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Laurie I'd lay me down and D. The brow is like the snowdrift, the throat is like the swan, the face it is the fairest that e'er the sun shone on, that e'er the sun shone on, and dark blue is her e'e, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me doon and dee. 2 verses is enough. So now I'm going to sing through the bass for at least one verse to, one, learn the part, and see that I'm lining up well with my melody here. So let's see, and let me know if the balance between the live part and the recorded part is okay. Oops, I think I just realized that, yep, my reverb was on. Let's try that without. I think that should be a little easier to manage. Let's give it a listen. Maxwellton's braes are bonny, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true. Gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me doon and dee. Okay, so it is quite a simple bass part. Now, class, how many of you have heard of solfege? S-O-L, here I'll type it, that solfege syllables or solfege singing. It's a system by which, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do are assigned to notes. If you've ever seen The Sound of Music, you know, do, a deer, a female deer, re. That's essentially solfege, but it's actually a very powerful learning tool for musicians. If you assign, so the solfege I learned is called movable do. So do can be any note. It'll be the root of whatever key you're in. So we're in C major here. So do is C. If I wanted to learn this part, and all I'm doing is looking at the music, I could say, okay, C is do. E would be mi, fa, 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 do, do, la, la, sol. It's a system of relationship between notes that remains constant. And because of that shorthand, there's even hand symbols that go along with it. I did not know that, Lershing. The sol, re, sol language uses the solfege for its vocabulary. That's very interesting. Then there are solfege syllables for, you know, accidentals, so notes that are sharp or flat. We don't really have much of that in this bass part, but if I was to look at this bass part quickly, I could say, okay, do, 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 mi, fa, 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 do, do, la, la, sol, sol, do, do, mi, fa, 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 sol, sol, do. Just makes it very quick and easy to learn. And then when you factor the hand symbols into it, you're creating kind of those neural pathways that make very hardwired associations for the intervals between notes. So that's a tool that you'll see a lot of singers using or were trained in at one point because it makes learning new music much, much faster. That aside, I'm now going to go ahead and record this bass part and hope that I don't mess up the words too badly. Let me just confirm that is Do.
Maxwell.
Yep.
Maxwell's praise upon ye, where early falls the dew. And 'twas there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true. Gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me doon and die. Her brow is like the snowdrift, her throat is like the swan, her face it is the fairest that e'er the sun shone on. That e'er the sun shone on, and dark blue is her e'e, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me doon and die.
All right. Pretty easy bass part. Now I will go ahead, listen, and record the tenor part here. Oh, but I have forgotten myself. I shouldn't be singing alone. There were two of me. In fact, there are more than just two of me. One moment, class. Whoops. That's the wrong me that's disappeared. Yes, we are getting... The boys are back in town. The Professor Quartet is back together. Almost. We'll be back together soon. For now, it can be a trio. So I realize this is blocking the sheet music. I apologize, class. If you wanted to follow along and sing along, do your best. You now have a built-in excuse for any mistakes, in that you cannot see all of the sheet music because my fat head is blocking it. All right. So if I think back to the beginning, little music theory for you, class, I can see my lead part,
Mi re do.
tenor part starts,
Mi re do mi sol sol fa mi sol do 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 sol fi sol.
that sharp fa is fi in solfege. Not going to go too far into it. And then you see that funky looking symbol there. Means a natural. So instead of F sharp, we're back to F natural.
Sol fa mi sol do 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 sol fa mi.
So a lot of this one is hanging out in that do to sol relationship, 1 to 5 in music.
Do so do sol so ti do re do ti do do, ti, do, 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 sol, sol, fa, mi, sol, sol, fa, mi.
Very simple part. Nice thing about folk music like this is that it's very pretty and it's usually quite easy to learn and sing. Which is kind of the point, you know? You'd want to be able to teach this to somebody very quickly and easily. So let's sing along with the first verse, make sure I've got the part down, and then we can go ahead and record it.
Maxwell's praise upon me, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true, gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me down and die.
Yep, should be pretty simple. Just gonna do a quick adjustment. Slight timing issue parts. Oh, there we go. And let's go ahead and record this tenor part now.
Maxwell's praise upon me, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true, gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me down and die. Her brow is like the snowdrift, her throat is like the swan, her face it is the fairest that e'er the sun shone on, that e'er the sun shone on, and dark blue is her e'e, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me down and die.
All right, not too shabby. Same thing, I'm just going to make slight adjustment. See? There is inherently always a little bit of delay when multi-track recording yourself. Now, here's where I run into a slight dilemma. For the alto part, if I sing it down an octave, it might get a little too dense sounding, and if I sing it in the octave as written, I worry that it could sound strange sitting over the melody. So I might try it both ways and see if it sounds all right. I don't know that my falsetto today is feeling up to recording the melody in the octave written. Be like, Maxwell's praise upon me. might just be a bit much. Could get a bit strident. It would be the give me a promise true, where intonation gets a little more difficult. Like, I think that high E was very, very pitchy and not that pleasant. So I'm going to see how it goes, kind of mixing octaves here, and see if it turns out all right. I think I will try it in the octave as written, which would be
do, ti, do, mi, so, fa, mi, do, ti. Ti, do, mi, so, fa, mi, do, ti, do. Do, mi, so.
oh, it doesn't go above that G, so it's quite still an easy range for a light tenor part. So let's go ahead and record that now. Or first, let's sing it through, then we'll record it. Not put the cart before the horse now. Start on Do, but the high Do.
Maxwell's praise are bonny, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true. Gave me a promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me tune and stee.
That is good to hear that it sounds good put together, because it's hard to listen to it while you're singing it, if that makes sense. It's a little paradoxical sounding. Oh, but I forget myself. I can't sing 4 parts without 4 people. So let's give this one a recording. Class, if you want to sing along at home, I highly encourage that. Would be a absolute delight to sing along with all of you. Sing the melody, sing a part if you like, sing a different song entirely if you want. It's just nice to sing together. So let's record that. And then I will do a bit of balancing on the parts, and we can have a nice little performance.
Maxwell's praise are bonny, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true. Gave me...
Whoops. Got that a little wrong. I'm gonna just...
Promise true to give me... Gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me tune and stee. Her brow is like the snowdrift, her throat is like the swan, her face it is the fairest that e'er the sun shone on, that e'er the sun shone on,
dark blue is her e'e, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me doon and dee.
All right, that is all 4 parts recorded. Now I'm just going to do a very quick bit of editing to see that parts line up more or less how they ought to. Very slight here. Keep everything in time. And now what I'm going to do is adjust balance slightly. I think I will need to turn down that alto part just slightly. Turn up the melody a tiny bit. I may need to, just because, you know, it's the melody. We want that to be nice and loud. Let me hear how the bass sounds in balance, because I know I am not quite as loud on that part naturally. Get a quick little.
Maxwellton's praise upon ye, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Annie Laurie.
Okay. I think that balance sounds all right to me. I'm going to add a touch of reverb here. Then we can go ahead and hide the sheet music and the Audacity and enjoy singing a song together in nature class. Please sing along. And actually, I'm going to tiny bit fancy here. Give me just a moment. You know, we have the technology. We can give a title on screen. That might be hard to read against that sky. That's not so bad now. All right. So let's sing together, class. By all means, please join in. Oops, I think I was muted for a sec. Please, everybody, sing along and let's enjoy Annie Laurie together.
Maxwellton's praise upon ye, where early falls the dew, and 'twas there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true. Gave me her promise true, which ne'er forgot will be, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me doon and dee. Her brow is like the snowdrift, her throat is like the swan, her face it is the fairest that e'er the sun shone on, that e'er the sun shone on, and dark blue is her e'e, and for bonny Annie Laurie I'd lay me doon and dee.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed that greatly. All right, professors, I no longer need all of you here with me. Thank you very much. And I hope you sang along, class. That was very fun. Actually, thank you for the Pachis. Here's an idea that I've had. Let me know what you think about this. So, for social media currently, all I'm really doing is, Twitter. What would you think if I were to make something like a TikTok, post something where 3 of 4 parts, everything but the melody, is sung, and then let people duet to, fill in the melody? So, for example, with Annie Laurie, if I played these 3 parts.
Maxwell tin's praise upon ye, where early falls the dew.
And let people then fill in the melody. Do you think that's something that people would be interested in? Kind of like a sing-along in that fashion? Then I could just take things that I've recorded on stream, because I do end up saving those projects. And then from there, like that. Yeah, it reminds me of kind of how sea shanties blew up earlier this year. I think because of that sort of engagement. So I was thinking, maybe that could be something that I could do. I don't know anything about TikTok, but I can learn. I can learn new tricks. I am not so old a dog that I can't. Thinking of new tricks, the hike that I just came back from was actually... Oh, there's our Audacity window for the next track. The hike that I just came back from is the longest through hike that I've done so far. I've done some other shorter, like 2 or 3 day hiking trips. This was definitely an educational experience in a lot of ways. I may have overpacked slightly, but that's better than the alternative. One thing that I think I have learned for next time is if I am doing a long period of hiking again, I should buy a pair of either hiking boots or trail runners or whatever I'm going to be using, a half size larger than I need, because I think the sheer amount of walking and any downhill, puts pressure on your toes, resulted in quite a lot of minor pain in my toes and one toenail kind of falling off a little. That's kind of gross. It was just, a pinky toe. It wasn't like a big toenail or something. But that's something I learned on my long hike. Buy slightly bigger footwear than you need. Yeah, it was an experience. See, other things that were a first, I saw moose, which I don't think I had ever seen in person before. That was very cool. Seeing, they're so much bigger than you are prepared for them to be. Even from quite a far off distance, it's like, that's so big. You think, okay, moose, like, a deer, but bigger. And it's like, no. Yeah, proper footwear is paramount. The trail shoes I was wearing are, hiking shoes that I've done a couple 100 miles in before, but never consecutively. So I think for the next time I do a long trail hike, I will buy one that is maybe a size up from what I'm used to wearing. Because worst case scenario, I can just add padding in to make sure, it's a secure fit. Best case scenario, I don't have any foot pain. I have been very lazy today, other than going out for groceries. I have not walked anywhere. It feels very good to rest my feet. Let's see, another folk tune. One that suits the environment as well. I have a wonderful arrangement of Loch Lomond by Ralph Vaughan Williams. Now, this is another one written for kind of mixed choir. I'm just going to sing the soprano and alto parts down an octave because I think that'll work quite nicely. This one is kind of for a solo, and other parts join in, and for whatever reason, when I exported this as a PDF, I couldn't help but get one page split in the wrong place, so let's hope that doesn't cause an issue. I know this tune fairly well, and I think most people would recognize this melody. I'm just gonna give you a quick sing through of the melody itself. That would sound like this.
By yon bonny banks and yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gay, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond.
And we've got another verse, same exact material, and we would move on, see if there's any changes.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping, but the broken-hearted kent nay second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting.
Looks like the melody hops up into another part there for a bit. Okay, yeah, it does. We've got some ahs.
And I'll be in Scotland afore.
Goes up to here.
For ye.
Okay, yeah, the melody is moved.
But I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Yeah, so this might be one that I go ahead and record in chunks. Kind of like verse 1, all 5 parts, verse 2, all 5 parts. I don't think I have a 5th professor prepared. We're going to have to fake it with 4. Just so that I don't have to splice or throw out a take if I mess up when someone else takes over the melody. But the first two verses will be simple enough. It's verse 3 where things begin to change. So let's go for the first two. Oh, you haven't heard this one in years? It's just a perfect melody, you know? And I would very much like to climb Ben Lomond someday. I've not yet been to Scotland. Very much want to go. But let's go ahead, lay down the solo track here, and then we'll go through with the bass and move on from there. This one, don't remember who, but it was some much older relative of mine used to sing this. Long dead. I think it was maybe like my father's great aunt or something like that. Distant relation remembrance from a family party 30 years ago or so. But it's such a pretty song. I think it's one of those songs that's now universally nostalgic, just because it's entered the public consciousness so much. That or I'm just waxing poetic about something and everyone's like, I don't know this song. What are you talking about?
Yon bonny banks and yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gae, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Was there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where deep in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond.
Let's make a cut there. Hey, good to see you, Nanara. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Very much enjoy it. So now that we've got that solo track down, we can go ahead and start recording the other parts on a closed lip hum. You can see. We're going back to solfege. G would be do here. Do, mi, fa, sol, la. I'm not going to subject you to all the solfege again, but I am going to play this back and sing along.
Yon bonny banks and yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gae, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Lomond.
little too low on the Lomond. We're also going to need to record a second bass bit there for Lomond, since we have a split. And I can sing two notes at once, but not in that manner. I can do, an overtone singing, which is not appropriate for this style. Of Loch Lomond. Pretty straightforward bass part, except for one spot in which the poor quality of the scan confused me, and I looked at the wrong spot. Yeah, that's where it was. On the I should actually be you'll take the high road and I'll take the low road and I'll be in Scotland for ye. Okay. I think let's just give it a go for recording. I'm not trying to make a flawless recording. I'm just having fun singing some folk music, and I'm going to invite my friend the professor back to sing bass. He did a good enough job last time. Let's see. Sure, everything's set. Okay, here we go. By yon bonny banks and yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gape, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where deep in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out. I started looking at the wrong part for a second there, class. We're gonna back that up and try again. Let me find where I lost the plot. Deep in purple hue. Okay. Right as we were deep in purple hue. Let's back up a bit. Highland hills we view. That's where it was that I messed up. Try that one more time. Yeah, that's what I want to do, like that. Oh dear. Oh dear, I've gone and lost my place in the And the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me
and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
There we go. That low G is a bit troublesome for me. Let me find those two spots where I will want to add a track just to sing that bass split.
Banks of Loch Lomond.
All right. Start recording here and join in, and then fast forward and do the same.
Bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
There's one. And let's get the other.
Banks of Loch Lomond.
Now, if you were singing this in, a proper choir or like a male glee club or something, obviously you would have enough people that, maybe two people stay on the higher note, two people go to the lower note. Not the case when you're just one person multiplying yourself. Let's see, what part should I record next? Just move up the list and sing the alto part, though I'm going to sing it down the octave, and I think this should work rather nicely.
Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will
Alright, I'm having trouble seeing because
never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Okay, so we have a bunch of unison with the melody, and then just a few notes here and there that are different. So let's listen to it, sing along, and move on from there.
By yon bonny banks and yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gain, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there.
Okay, and then we'll just repeat that same material. One thing that's a little tricky with the... which professor do I want to... Oh, let's welcome this one. In a choir scenario, whenever you've got these long, closed lip hum kind of things, you have enough people that you can do what's called stagger breathing, where one person can take a breath while another continues holding a note, and the effect to the audience is unbroken sound, generally over a period much longer than you could do otherwise. Now, I don't have that luxury right now. There's no one else to cover any breaths, so I'm just not going to worry about it too much. I don't think you'll hold it against me, will you, class? Please don't. All right. You know what? I'm going to start the recording closer to where I actually start singing so you don't have to hear that intro over and over and over.
Bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gay, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where deep in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
All right, let's add our next part. Thank you, Kaji, and thank you for making an exception for me. I will do my best to not breathe as much as possible. Let's see. We've got a different part. Start.
Tito. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Okay, so shocker, not very different from the other parts. So let's hum and sing along once, then we'll record it. So I've sung a version of this arrangement before class, but I sang what here is presented as the tenor 1 part, which is this soprano 1 part, my bad. It is this absolutely gorgeous high counter melody. And I've not sung the other parts. Obviously I know the melody. It's a, traditional tune. But that counter melody is one of the most beautiful parts, and that is really what I'm looking forward most to singing. So I'm very excited to get to that after this part. Just a moment for a sip of my drink. All right. So we're just gonna...
On bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gay,
Scotland of 40. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
All right, easy enough part. And we're starting to get some of those really nice distance and resolution, especially somewhere like, where did I notice a good one? Yeah, right here, where the melody goes, where me and my true. We have, where me and my true. You get that nice kind of crunch and then, release of that tension, which is what makes this kind of music work. So let's go ahead and record the part.
And yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love would ever want to gain, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh,
Excuse me. Sorry about that, class. I went to take a breath and instead swallowed my own saliva. That's very gross, unpleasant to listen to, and unpleasant to do. I apologize. Let's see. Okay, we're right on the syllable O. I think that's just me breathing there, so we can... ill-fated breath that set me coughing. I promise I'm a functional person who knows how to, breathe and do other things at the same time. Okay. Okay, we're back in business. Goodness, that's embarrassing. Right on the syllable O, I believe.
oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low.
Interesting to note here also, class, we have... oh my goodness, that challenge is going to fill up quick. Yeah, we've got an interesting syncopation. All the other parts have
Take the low.
da 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 versus da da da. So it'll sound a little weird, but it's good rhythmic contrast. You'll hear when it's all together. Oh wait, and this is the fourth one of... well, I'll save the fourth bloom for the last part. This one just kind of blends in anyway. Starting on...
oh, you'll take the high. oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low. And I'll be in Scotland of 40. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where deep in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland of 40.
Loch Lomond.
Oh, sorry about that throat clearing. Now we can go ahead and add the very fun high counter melody here, for which I will invite another professor back to our group. So I'm just gonna go right ahead and sing this one through. Excuse me one moment, class. Need to cough and it's gonna sound unpleasant. Much better. Here we go.
On bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gain, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
So that's the part. It's so pretty, feels so good to sing. So let's go ahead and add that in. Assuming I don't forget how to swallow like a functional human being again.
On bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gain, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where deep in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you'll take the high road, I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Gonna record just that last of Loch Lomond again. I think I could have done that a little bit.
Banks of Loch.
Let's fix that. Both timing was off, and it could have sounded prettier.
Of Loch Lomond.
There we go. I know this is only 2 of 3 verses, but I should like to hear it. See if there's any minute adjusting I need to do. I will probably slightly. I will add a touch of reverb that I will undo when we continue recording. Just because I want to hear how it's turning out so far, because I really like this song. So let's give it a quick listen.
By yon bonny banks and yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gay, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where deep in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
All right, that is sounding pretty good so far. I think would be the best way to we go on with
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping.
and the melody continues elsewhere. The melody continues in the alto part, or the soprano 2 part here.
But the broken-hearted kens nae second spring.
It hops all around there. I think my best bet is probably just to keep everything as written, and then remember that I need to jump back up here because for whatever reason, I don't know how to put together a PDF. Let's just sing through it dry. And if it goes poorly, we just won't have a third verse. Which might be quitter talk, but that is all right by me, class.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping.
I also realize there are too many of me here. Just a moment. There we go.
Sleeping, but the broken-hearted kens, nay, second spring again, for the woeful may cease from their greeting. Ah, and I'll be in Scotland a 40, but I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond.
Okay, that's not too difficult. We should be able to continue just fine. Continue from here. Sorry, ever since swallowing slightly wrong there, has not been pleasant. Still trying to clear my throat, somewhat unsuccessfully. Apologize for any gross mouth or throat noises you all have to endure.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens, nay, second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. Ah, and I'll be in Scotland a 40, but I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
I just realized I hopped lines and need to re-record from by the, I think. Sorry about that, class. Let's back up a bit and hear where I went wrong.
And I'll be in Scotland a 40, but I and my true love will never meet again by the
Yep, that's where I got it wrong.
by the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond.
That's where I need to fix it. Just a moment. Unless I wanted to cross lines again, but in all honesty, I would probably just forget to do that.
Meet again by the bonny, bonny banks. Meet again by the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
There we go. That part now recorded. Let's listen to it and sing the bass. And we're just going to repeat the same process that we've been going through all time.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted can's nay second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting.
Oh, that's not right.
From their greeting.
That's it.
Second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. And I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch
Lomond. That's the part.
of Loch Lomond.
And I will need to record 2 bass parts here because it splits for quite a lot of it. But let's just go ahead. We are on a roll. Continue. Trim this just a bit so
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted can's nay second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. And I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
All right, good enough. My bass is rapidly fading. That low G might be out of reach soon. So let's record the other bass part. I should probably look it over in the moments where it splits in those ahs.
Beating and I'll be the fool.
Okay. That's the only spot it splits other than end. So that should be a nice, quick, easy...
Birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine
the moment we split.
the waters are sleeping, but the broken-hearted...
Very slightly find these. I don't think I can. Oh well. Solve that problem later.
heart it kens, nay, second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting.
This is where we'll come. That was sloppy. Let's back it up a little further.
From their greeting. And I'll be in Scotland.
There we go. Not going to bother with that octave doubling at the end, at least not yet. Let's move on. Okay, the alto, for whatever reason, doesn't sing for a bit. Whoops. Really need to get better at the actual controlling of Audacity.
The wee birdies sing and the
Time shift it. We're get these as lined up as any of you are professional audio engineers. Do not do things like this. I don't know. I know about singing. I don't know about audio engineering and recording.
The wee birdies sing.
But that's a lot better right there. Oh, well, I do need to listen to that if I want to go ahead and record. Don't know how I just got feedback on myself there, but that's all right. Okay, sorry about that. One moment, where'd my recording window go? There it is. Now we're going to sing along with the alto. Who does not sing yet.
Wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens, nay, second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland of 40, but I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
All right. The only thing I've got to watch out for is that big page turn there, where we don't go where I expect. So,
I'll be in Scotland of 40.
okay, that makes sense musically. Should be easy enough to record. So let's back up and do just that. Now I don't come in for a little while here, which is nice. Gives me a second.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens, nay, second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland of 40, but
Oh, thank you for the follow, Lunar IPv4. I very much appreciate it. You have just come as we are wrapping up the last. We have 2 parts left to record in this version of Loch Lomond, and then we will get to have what I hope is a really, really lovely listening experience. Or at least I am going to do everything in my power to ensure that it is a lovely listening experience. Let me make sure these are lined up adequately.
But the broken heart.
The barest of trims here. Let's see.
Weeping, but the broken.
There we go. Keep going back to the beginning of the track when I mean to go to our 3rd verse. Excuse the coughing. I am still not over swallowing incorrectly like a fool. Let's see. Okay, so we have words from the very start on the soprano 2, or I suppose tenor 2 part in this case.
The wee birdies sing, the wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens nae second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. Ah,
Blah, blah, blah.
and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Okay, not too bad. Let me just review that big page turn. Go from
And I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but I and my true love will never meet again.
there's where the melody is. So, should be easy and good to go.
A wee birdie sings.
Start. So, let us away.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens nae second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. And I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
All right, and now we just have the high tenor counter melody left, which is my favorite part of the piece. Thank you, Elliot. We will get the last. We've got, check it out, class, a lovely dissonance C against D here. You'll hear, actually, let's solo out that part so you can hear exactly what I mean.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sun.
Got that great, great dissonance resolution. Sorry, needed to highlight it. one of my favorite things, and it always sounds so nice whenever it happens. I'm just going to go ahead and record this part because I'm feeling lucky, and I do actually know this part. Yeah, that dissonance, it's so, so nice. And we've got some nice dissonance on the ending chords as well.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted can't, nay, second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland of 40, but I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
All right, we now have all 5 parts, all 3 verses. Gonna edit out the sound of me clicking there at the end. And I don't think I ever undid the reverb of the first half. Let me give a quick listen to confirm that, because I don't want to double up there. Okay, no, I didn't. So I need to add that same reverb to half the piece now. I can find where the third verse begins.
On the steep.
Right there, I would wager. I really should be using more screen real estate than I... But... Okay, that's where that verse ended. Bear with me a moment, class. We make this sound a little prettier. I'm going to make some quick adjustments, and then... Oh, dearie me, I've been very rude to myself and have forgotten to include all of me. In fact, there's really one fewer than there should be. But let me do some quick adjustment. Listen back for one moment.
The wee birdies sing, and the...
Okay, yep. Slightly behind. These.
The wee birdies sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sun...
That's the ticket. That part is a little loud, but it should be fine. So now, class, I am very happy to present to you a beautiful 5-part arrangement of Ralph Vaughan Williams' arrangement of the traditional tune Loch Lomond. Let's enjoy the scenery, enjoy the song, and please, please, if you know it, do sing along.
By yon bonny banks and yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to 'twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where deep in purple hue the highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But thee and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. The wee birdies sing and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping, but the broken-hearted can't nay second spring again, though the woeful may cease from their greeting. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But I and my true love will never meet again by the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Well, I think that came out quite nice. Thank you very much for joining me for that process class. That was a longer recording than I usually do. Thank you so much, Kaji, for the Pachis and the compliment, though they are kind of one and the same. Let's see. I do have more folk arrangements we could do. Let's see. So I've sung Annie Laurie, Loch Lomond. I've got arrangements of The Parting Glass. It's a nice, easy 3-part. That's the
Oh, all the money that e'er I spent.
I've sung that before, but it's very pretty. I've got a very nice arrangement of the Welsh Lullaby, All Through the Night, Arhyd Nos. I'm not going to attempt the Welsh. I was trying to practice the Welsh pronunciation last night, but I will need more time to write down the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, symbols for all the Welsh words that present a challenge. Because when you have two L's next to each other in the middle of a word and they make a sound like, that's a little hard to get used to, and you need to, I need at least the shortcut, which are those symbols. Class, if you ever look at a singer's piece of music in a language that's not their native tongue, there is a fair chance you will see strange symbols and markings near words that they're not sure of how to pronounce. Those will be IPA symbols, which are a constant unit of pronunciation. So it's basically a way to, cheat your way into pronouncing a language correctly. So if I was to sing in something like, I sing in French quite regularly, and I don't like singing in French very much because there's a lot of, nasalized vowels or words where, you're only pronouncing a bare fraction of it. and I'm not a French speaker, so I'm not familiar with the rules well enough to sing it without having that shorthand written in. Welsh, I am almost entirely unfamiliar with. Yeah, Atropa, it is a very weird language. It's extraordinarily cool sounding. Like, I love the sound of the Welsh language. When they're speaking, it sounds like they're singing. It's incredible. But as a non-Welsh speaker, the pronunciation is intimidating, let me say. Actually, why don't we listen to a version of All Through the Night in Welsh? This is not the same arrangement that I will be singing, but it is a lovely one by the King's Singers, which are a 6-person vocal group out of King's College in England. They've been, different iterations of the group for 40 plus years now. And you'll hear what I mean about the Welsh. So, while that is a very beautiful arrangement, I will not be singing that one. I will be singing a different, more traditional 4-part arrangement. I just wanted you all to hear the Welsh that I won't be singing this time. Maybe next time. I need to practice, and preferably, if I can, find a native speaker and talk to them and get kind of pronunciation guide tips on Welsh. Only visited Wales once, and I think that was 7 or 8 years ago. I was visiting a friend who was doing their PhD in Cardiff, and I figured, what a good excuse to go to Wales. Visit a friend who was absolutely gorgeous, but I was not there long enough to learn anything meaningful of the language. So let's reintroduce our recording window, our sheet music, and let's go ahead. This is actually a very near and dear lullaby to my heart. I'm not going to sing the intro and outro because I've gone over them before and I don't care for it that much, but I like this arrangement otherwise. I do remember as a very small child, my mother singing this as a lullaby to me. So for that reason, it holds a near and dear place in my heart. I love singing it. And this is as good an arrangement as I've ever heard. So for those of you who don't know, it goes something like this.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I, my loving vigil keeping, all through the night.
Very simple melody, very pretty. This is one where I think for the bass notes I may have to either fake it or take them up an octave. Looking at it, it goes down to an F. We'll see when we get there. Turns out spending a week hiking in the woods doesn't hurt your singing voice, but it doesn't help it. I didn't actually use my voice that much, come to think of it. I was hiking with a friend and we were, having conversation throughout, but for just as long, there'd be an hour or two of silence as we went along. And one instance of having to yell at a black bear. That was a bit exciting. I've seen bears while hiking before and have been in a position where I could just, they were far enough away that I could just back away while facing it and not have to engage. But this was one that had clearly noticed us and was probably only about 100 yards away. So we, raised our arms, got big, yelled, clanged our, camp stoves together, yelled at it, and it ran off. Bear fighter bloom. That would not go very well, I don't think. I mean, I'm tall, but a bear is a bear. Yeah, black bears are very cowardly. And fortunately, nowhere along the Appalachian Trail has to deal with grizzlies. So the black bear is probably the worst you'll see. I've seen things while hiking like bobcats. Those are no issue at all. Those are terribly afraid of people. Black bears are, they're very cute if you see one from far away. If you see one close up, they're cowards. Get big and yell. They'll run away. I don't want to subject you all to my yelling voice, because it's quite loud, and I worry I would disturb my neighbors. But, so let's record all through the night. Nice, peaceful lullaby.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night.
Sorry, I'm going to redo that. I'm going to mute myself for a moment and clear my throat, because that still feels nasty after swallowing wrong. There we go. That should be better. Take 2.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Oft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I, my loving vigil keeping, all through the night. Oh, I roam a minstrel lonely all through the night. Yet my song shall praise thee only all through the night. Love's young dream, alas, is over, yet my strains of love shall hover near the presence of my lover all through the night.
Very simple, very beautiful melody. Now, I know I mentioned that my mother used to sing this to me as a lullaby. What you might be surprised to learn, class, is that both of my parents, who did sing to me as a child, and I'm very grateful for that, are not musicians, and not only not musicians, are really dreadful singers. I do maintain that it is much more important to sing than to sing well. Everybody can sing, everybody should sing. Singing is an important part of life, but despite myself and my brother turning out to be musicians, my mother cannot carry a tune in a bucket to save her life. And yet, despite that, this is still a treasured tune to me, so if you ever worry that you can't sing, class, remember, it is more important to sing than sing well. Because no matter how poorly she must have sang this song, I mean, I didn't know, I was an infant, it holds a near and dear place in my heart. So don't ever talk yourself out of singing. You know, if you want to sing, sing. And that, the feeling, is what comes through. I guarantee you. So now I will sing along with the bass part, and we'll learn that. I've sung this before, it's not very difficult.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I, my loving vigil keeping all through the night.
Yeah, I can't quite hit that low F right now. Or I can get it out in kind of a false tone. I don't know if you can even hear it. I don't know if my noise gate filters it out. Love shall hover. I try to put any meaningful breath support, like my full voice or modal voice behind that. It breaks up. I can't quite sing that low right now. That's a sometimes note, usually in the morning, not so much later in the day, or if I've been singing higher. That is the challenge of singing quartets by yourself, that as you warm up one register, the other one tends to suffer for it slightly. But let's go ahead and record it. I'm just going to pop up an octave whenever I have one of those low Fs, and you won't really be able to tell the difference in the finished product.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. slumber steeping, I my loving vigil keeping all through the night. Though I roam a minstrel lonely all through the night, yet my song shall praise thee only all through the night. Love's young dream, alas, is over, yet my strains of love shall hover near the presence of my lover all through the night.
There we go. And I remembered I needed to call another professor to the stage to help out. So let us go ahead and learn the next part. So I'll sing the baritone part, the lower of the two harmony parts here that aren't the bass or melody. Looks pretty simple, so we're just going to go ahead.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, ill and veiled in slumber steeping, I my loving vigil keeping all through the night.
Yep, simple and straightforward. Gonna see if I need to adjust the timing a little bit on the bass part. Up slightly better.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee.
Slightly the barest tendency.
Peace attend thee all.
There we go. That's satisfactory. Let's go ahead and record another part.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, ill and veiled in slumber steeping, I my loving vigil keeping all through the night. Though I roam a minstrel lonely all through the night, yet my song shall praise thee only all through the night. Love's young dream, alas, is over, yet my strains of love shall hover near the presence of my lover all through the night.
I'm going to say, it was not easy banning a bot while singing. Thought it would be. Let's go ahead. Oh, that might result in some clicking sounds in the recording, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and record the last part. Excuse me. Well, let's sing it first, and then we'll record it. So, back on stage with you, Professor.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Off the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I, my loving vigil keeping all through the night.
Easy, easy peasy. Let's go for it.
Sleep, my love.
Nope, that's the baritone part.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I, my loving vigil keeping all through the night.
Yep, easy part. And let's record it. One sec. All right, let's give that a quick recording. Or do I want to see how does my baritone? Yeah. Good enough. Go ahead and record this last part.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I, my loving vigil keeping all through the night. Though I roam a minstrel lonely all through the night, yet my song shall praise thee only all through the night. Love's young dream, alas, is over, yet my strains of love shall hover near the presence of my lover all through the night.
Right. Let us see how that turned out, class. Give me just a moment to do my usual slight audio edits here, and then we will have a hopefully lovely lullaby for everybody to enjoy. Few small changes. Give me just a moment here. Wrong thing. There we go. So please feel free to sing along, class, and let's listen to All Through the Night.
Sleep, my love, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I, my loving vigil keeping, all through the night. Though I roam a minstrel lonely, all through the night, yet my song shall praise thee only, all through the night. Love's young dream, alas, is over, yet my strains of love shall hover near the presence of my lover, all through the night.
All right. I think that came out quite nice. I hope no one would turn their nose up at that as a lullaby. Let's see. I don't think, class, unfortunately, that I have that many more in me. But if we look at that as good news, that means that I will have plenty more lovely folk arrangements for you in the future. Thank you, Cyrus G. I appreciate the patches. So, I will be drafting a schedule tonight for the coming week. However, it is going to have a big asterisk on it, which is Hurricane Henri, which is coming towards me, let's say. So, assuming I have power and I am not flooded or do not experience wind damage from the storm, I should have a normal full weekly schedule, including at least one reading stream, one gaming stream, and I'm looking to try to set up the first 2 learning sessions for the VTuber Choir project. Don't think I've forgotten. I'm very much looking forward to that. So I am going to set to work on scheduling that. But I think that will be all for me today. So I think now would be a good time to find someone to raid. Does anyone have any suggestions for a raid target, or should I just go take a look at who is online right now? Yeah, thank you for coming to the stream. It feels really nice to stream after, as nice as it is being disconnected from technology for a week. I do miss it, and I really miss streaming. I'm very happy to be back. streaming for all of you. Yeah. Oh, it was my pleasure, Cyrus G. I'm saying anyone's name wrong, by the way. Yeah, it's good to be back, Elliot. And I'm very sorry I missed your birthday, I realized. So happy belated birthday. I'm going to have to go through and watch. I've got a bunch of VODs earmarked that I need to go back and look through. Because I feel bad to have missed so much. So let's see. Okay, Karaoke Tuesday. Assuming that I have electricity, I am going to be there. Very much want to see that event. Hopefully you are no longer dying. Dying's no fun. Let's see. Who have we got raidable right now? Let's see. Oh, I see Nanase Kane is playing Chibi Robo. He was in the stream earlier. And I do like Chibi Robo a lot. So I think that's who I would like to raid, unless anyone has another suggestion. Does anyone have a raid message that we should go with? Good old Kane. Yeah, I ended up buying Pokken Tournament because of him, and I'm going to need to learn how to play it before I embarrass myself playing against him on stream. Let's see, what would be a good raid message? It's something I still need to think of. Yeah, I remember I played Pokken on the Wii U at like a promotional event, some Pokemon tournament where it was being shown off like to the public pre-release. And it was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to learning how to play that and then getting my butt whooped on stream. So let's see. So let's raid Kane. What's our raid message, class? School's out. Feel like that fits. Yeah, how about we do school's out for a raid message? I've held you all long enough. Elliot, I hope that's not yours and I'm stealing it. I can't remember. We're both teachers, so I don't know if I'm biting there. But school's out seems like a good one. So thank you again, class, for attending. I'm very much looking forward to putting a schedule together for this week. I've got some... It's more or less the same. Whoops. I promise I'll come up with something more creative. Okay, so let's go ahead and raid Kane and tell him that school's out. Thank you again, everybody, for attending, and I will see you soon. Let's go.
I'm out of battery. Oh. School's out? What's this? Oh! Professor Bloom, thank you for the raid. Let's see if we can give you a quick shout out here while we're doing a little bit of recharging, that is.